begin now. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad Rabbi sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallim. Again, welcome everyone, and thank you for being here with us for our April monthly date with Firdaus. So we're having Ustazah Nadia Hanim later. But before that, we will just go with a bit of housekeeping and introduction of Firdaus. So I hope you can bear with me. Okay, so yes, this is the program for today. We are actually on the opening section now. Inshallah, when Ustazah Nadia comes, we will start with the presentation. She will be talking for about an hour, and afterwards, we'll be having a Q&A session, inshallah. And here you can actually put your questions on the chat box, or you can also unmute yourself to say out your questions out loud to her directly. And afterwards, at about 9:25, 9:30, we'll be closing the session with some dua, and we would also like your feedback as well, inshallah. Okay, so before we begin, as I said, an introduction to Firdaus. So what is Firdaus? We are actually a Malay Muslim organization, a voluntary welfare organization, which we have been here since actually 1964. Our vision is to build a righteous society so that we could all become contributing members of society and leaders of the community as well. So this is our guiding principle for the organization based on the Prophet's hadith, sallallahu alaihi the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The best among men are those who give the most benefit to others, inshallah. So may we all be of benefit to each other. So exactly what do we do? So we have a lot of things going on. We develop people. So how do we do that? Through our educational services. So one of them is actually our childcare center, Yet Firdaus. We have actually 3 childcare centers. We are also a pioneer MMO childcare that embraces an integrated learning space for children. That means that children with mild special needs are also in our childcare centers where they can learn from each other, inshallah. Next is our Madrasah Firdaus. We have a weekend Islamic school with a focus on experiential learning approach. We have from nursery, primary until secondary levels. Besides that, we also have our youth programs for post-secondary age school students. We take this experiential and service learning up to a bit of a higher level. And what's nice about this is that a lot of students come here and say, they don't have to take exams. So that's why they like it. Next, our adults. We have adult programs. We have basic modules on Arabic literacy, Fardu Ain and Fardu Kifaya for our class Agama Dewasa. We also have contemporary tafsir with Ustaz Dr. Muhammad Hanif Hassan. This is held bi-weekly at Madrasah Al-Junaid Al-Islamiyah. Besides that, we have other services as well. As a charity, we accept donations, we accept zakat, we provide Qurban services, and we also sometimes fundraise for compelling projects, for example, emergency relief or disasters, and those kind of things, inshallah. So actually what's coming up, besides our monthly date, is our Ramadan campaign, inshallah. We will only be having this live tomorrow. We will be having lots of things lah. So do look out for our activities for Ramadan on our social media and also on our website and Berita Harian, inshallah. So a bit about Ustazah Nadia Hanim. So we are going to get her to talk. So let's find out more about her first lah. So Ustazah Nadia Hanim is a director of Al-Wafa, an organization for educational learning. She's also a co-founder of our Little Ummah Learning Center, and is also a freelance speaker. So she's, if I think many of you also have been going to her online courses on Haid and Nifas, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Besides that, what is her educational background like? She is an alumni of both Madrasah Al-Junaid Al-Islamiyah and Madrasah Al-Saqaf Al-Arabiyah. Afterwards, she continued her studies at Tarim, Yemen, and afterwards at Al-Azhar University. Alhamdulillah. Afterwards, she also gained an advanced diploma in special education. So as a community leader, Ustazah Nadia Hanim is an exco of the Pergas Council. She is a member of the Asatizah Youth Network at MUIS. And of course, with all these accolades, she is also ARS certified lah. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, actually we are at the end of our introduction slide. So I thought that if Ustazah Nadia is here, I can pass it over to her. So can I have an update? Is Ustazah here yet?
Yes, Ustazah is here.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, Ustazah, would you like me to unshare my slide and share yours? Besides that, thank you for being here. Assalamualaikum, Ustazah.
Assalamualaikum. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
I'm trying to open up my slides because I'm using two gadgets here.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm using another one to share. How's everyone? Good, Alhamdulillah. So Ustazah Khatim, so I heard that this is a Firdaus night date, is it? Or ladies date?
not really. It's something that we want. We think that it's more of a parents' date. We
Parents date, okay, all right. Because I'm under the impression that if it's a date, it's not something that is serious. So it's not the format is not a lecture format. So it's more like a sharing session. Is that correct, Ustazah Fatin?
yeah, that's right.
Okay, let me open up my slides first and then I can begin, inshallah.
Yeah. So no worries. It's all relax and chill here, inshallah.
It's good to know. Ustazah Afifa is here too, is it? Cannot see
Yes,
from here.
I'm here. I'm here. Ustazah.
How are you, Ustazah Afifa? Good?
Liza, how are you?
Good, Alhamdulillah.
Okay, I think we need to make Ustazah Nadia the co-host so that she can share her slides.
Yeah.
Mhm. I have I'm sharing from the Nadia Hadim slides, if you can see, because I'm using the Ustazah Nadia for
Oh, okay.
my audio and for microphone, but sharing slides, I'm going to use the Nadia Hadim slides.
Okay. Yeah. So we just made you a host.
Okay, cool. Hold on, let me just. So sorry for the delay.
Okay, how are you, Ustazah? I heard that you are a bit unwell today.
Yes. I'm having a bit of temperature. It was last night because I cannot push myself. Once I started pushing myself, that's it.
Okay, I saw that you have a lot of activities going on with all the
Yeah, just before Ramadan. Can just give me a few minutes more because I think I need to change my slides to PDF. So it's easier for me to share. So just give me 2 minutes. I just need to
Sure.
change it. Yeah. So sorry to keep everyone waiting. Ramadan with kids. Files, copy, PDF. So I can just start Ustazah Khatim, or will there be questions from you? Will you be moderating, or
No,
no? I just
you can just yeah.
start my slides and start talking. So this one just like a lecture juga lah,
Yeah, somewhat.
also.
The relaxed kind.
the relax kind. Ustazah Afifa tak ada soalan-soalan? Do you have any questions to ask me?
We do, but basically Ustazah can basically go to the basically the topic of today is more of like how we want to prepare our children for this beautiful month lah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically for our children, the younger ones especially, very very enthusiastic lah when it comes to puasa, and then like what are the preparation that we can prep them in terms of spiritually, solat tarawih, and
So,
then like
well,
yeah.
you see, where you're mentioning just now, you mentioned and excited, enthusiastic. The children or the parents?
Actually, more of the anxiousness lah, how we want to, because for us as parents also we do have kita pun puasa, right? We also
Mm,
be fasting, and then at the same time we also have our children to take care of, and also and make sure that they are not apa tu penat sangat or get too lethargic, and how
okay,
we
okay.
give them that semangat lah.
So how can parents in that kind of condition can actually maximize, especially
Yeah,
the
but I
acts of
think
worship?
before we begin on the talk, we would like to
Mhm.
know more about yourself, Zazan Nadia. How many
Uh,
children you have, and
okay, okay. So
yeah,
introduction of myself.
yeah, can.
Okay, all right. My name is Assalamualaikum everyone. Uh, good night to everyone. Okay, thank you for taking the time to be with us in our Ladies' Day. Okay, or is it a parenting date tonight? Okay, I know that it's a weekday. This is the only time that I have. So this I know it's not ideal for parents to be in Zoom during weeknights. But I would like to. That's the reason why I applaud everyone here. I commend everyone for taking that time to put in the effort to actually learn something. I hope it may be beneficial for everyone, inshallah. So my name is Nadia Hani binti Abdul Rahman. Okay, they usually call me Ustazah Nadia or Ustazah Nadia Hani. And I think just now Ustazah Khatim had already uh, introduced me when it comes to the education background and other things. So the questions from Ustazah Wafifa was, how many kids do I have? I have two. I have two. So one, my eldest is now 10, and then I have two, the youngest is 5 years old. So they are still growing up lah. So if you want to have questions for me with regards to teenagers, okay, with regards to teenagers, I do not have a first-hand experience when it comes to educating them, or when it comes to educating in school. Yes, I have that kind of experience, but not as a parent to a teenager, because my eldest is not a teenager yet. He's only 10 years old. That's anything else? I think that's the question. So I'm a mother. I'm a parent to my children. Yeah, one is a boy. The eldest is a boy. The other one is a girl. So I have a pair of them. Is that okay, Staza?
Yes,
Or
yes.
do they need more introduction?
Yeah, I think you can begin your
Yeah. So
first.
I'm here. I'm here not to preach. Okay, to preach, to tell you what to do, to tell you how to be a good parent. No, I'm not here to do that, because I also, as a parent, as a parent, it's a learning process. Okay, for all parents, it's a learning process, and of course, every one of us, we have different stories, and of course, we have our children have different personalities, even within our children. Okay, the siblings. Okay, we have, for example, we have 4 or 6 or even 2. Okay, so it's like they are not the same, so they have different personalities. So I'm not here to preach to you or to tell you what to do, but I can share with you some suggestions from my learning, from the takeaways that I've gotten from our teachers, and from the our predecessors, the scholars that have written books. So I've been learning books on Islamic parenting, and not only learning, I've been actually teaching them as well. So whatever that I'm teaching, there's always references. Okay, because I'm not the type who like to just follow my heart or shock sendiri lah, because everything you have to have references. Okay, so that is where you can actually be very certain. So learning is a process. Again, it's a forever process, especially when it comes to parenting. So I just hope that my sharing tonight, it's beneficial, or my suggestions, it can be beneficial. But if you find that it's not, suitable for you, it's fine. Do not follow the suggestions. Okay. So, but whatever that I'm presenting to you again is based on my readings, is based on my learning from our teachers. So I'm merely sharing, passing the knowledge down to all of you. I believe that the session is solely in English. Okay, I'm not going to mix my language, because usually I would ask whether it's in English or Malay. If it's in Malay, it's going to be totally in Malay. If it's in English, it's going to be totally in English, because I understand that they say that it's a very relaxed sharing sessions. I can because usually when we have the idea that if it's a sharing session, you can actually mix, but I'm not keen on that. Okay, so I hope that you can be patient with me, because presenting in English is not really my strength, but I will definitely try my very best. Okay, now, ladies, and I'm not too sure whether that's gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that all of your parents or parents to be, soon to be parents. I would like to begin first with recitation of dua, recitation of intention, because everything starts from an intention, and hopefully this session will be blissful and blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whatever that is beneficial, I hope that we can act upon it and practice it, and hopefully our acts of worship will gain reward. Definitely will gain reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. نويت التعلم والتعليم والنفع والانتفاع والمذاكرة والتذكير والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على تمسك بكتاب الله بسنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم والدعاء إلى الهدى والدلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله مرضاته وقربه وثوابه مع اللطف والعافية وسلاح العفو وحسن الخاتمة. مع هذه النية بكل نية صالحة إلى حضرة النبي اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى سيدنا محمد. الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Okay, let's begin inshallah. So ladies and gentlemen, if you see here my first slide, okay, the first thing that I put here is on the declaration, acknowledgement. I love to start off with this, to bring us back to our purpose, to bring us back to be fully aware of our goal. Okay, so we are, all of us, we are believers, we have faith, we believe in being here and the existence of the hereafter. So in talk about declaration is I bear witness, I declare, I bear witness that there is no God, and there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu is the messenger of Allah. And then after that we also declare that we believe in the angels, we believe in the books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the contents of Quran, and then we declare we believe in the prophets, in the messengers, we believe in the hereafter, and as well as we believe in the creed, in the qada wal qadar, okay, Allahumma the destiny destined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to each and every one of us. So these are what we call as the pillars of Iman. Okay, so the pillars of Iman, we have the faith, okay, having the faith towards whatever that we believe in, okay, the 6 pillars that we believe in, and then as well as we have the pillars of Islam, where we start off with the declaration ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna muhammadar rasulullah. Once we declare ourselves to believe in the existence of the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we declare that we are following in the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, and whatever that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu has been teaching, and it has been passed, the knowledge has been passed to us until now. And since 1,500 years ago until now, we are still learning what has been passed down by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu through the Sahaba, through the Tabi'in, through the Tabi'in, through the ulama, through the scholars, until we receive the knowledge until now. So after declaring that, we know that ashhadu an anta ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadar Rasulullah wa iqamus salah, okay, wa an tuqimas salah, wa an tuqimas salah. We know that because of our belief, because of our faith, whatever that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us, has commanded us to do, like iqamus salah, tuqimas salah, that is you do your prayer, and Allah, and we are doing that because Allah has commanded us to do. Wa tasuma Ramadan, fast during the Ramadan. Wa tu'ti zakah, wa an tu'ti zakah, that is you give zakah. Wa an tahujja al-bayti man istata'a ilayhi sabila, and to do your hajj if you are able to. So these are all the pillars, and the declaration is important so that whatever that we are learning afterwards, it's all, the foundation of it is actually the pillars. Pillars are our religion. So if you ask yourself, if someone asks you, or if you have been asking yourself, what is religion? Exactly, what is religion? And we know of the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was with his companions. There's is a very popular hadith. We call it Hadith Jibril, the story of Malaikat Jibril, the angel of Jibril came to them, and then after that sat in front of Rasulullah sallallahu and asked Rasulullah sallallahu, Ya Rasulullah, teach us or tell me what is the pillars of Iman. And then Prophet Muhammad sallallahu answered the man, okay, because Malaikat Jibril came to him not as an angel but as a man. So he can, well, the malaikats or angels can do that. And then Prophet Muhammad SAW answered here the pillars of Iman, an tu'mina billahi wa bi malaikatihi wa bi kutubihi wa bi rusulihi wa bil yawmil akhir wa bil qada'i wal qadari khairihi wa sharrihi, all the 6 pillars. Okay, I believe that all of you know what are the 6 pillars of Iman. And after that, the Malaikat Jibril asked him again. And at that moment, all the Sahaba, all the companions, they have no idea at all who the man was. Okay, even in the hadith, in the narration, they were saying there's a description of the man, how black his hair was and how white his clothes was. But we don't know him, said the companion. We don't know this man, but so if we don't know this man, he must be from elsewhere, not from Medina. And if he's from elsewhere, if he's a musafir, his hair could not have been so black. It must be there must be sand all over it, and the clothes, it could not have been very white, because there must be, because the person might have come from the desert, because he's a musafir, okay, he's a traveler. So they didn't know that that was Malaikat Jibril. So Malaikat Jibril asked Prophet Muhammad SAW, now tell me about what is the pillars of Islam. And Prophet Muhammad SAW answered the 5 pillars of Islam. And after that, every time when he asked Prophet Muhammad SAW, Prophet Muhammad SAW would answer, after Prophet Muhammad SAW had answered the man who was the angel of Jibril, and the man would say this back, Sadaqta, you are correct. So the companions, they were curious. Why did this man ask Prophet Muhammad SAW and then he said correct? It's as if that he already knew the answer, but he was just testing Prophet Muhammad SAW. But they took care of their adab, okay? So they did not, they just left the conversation alone between the Prophet and that man. And then he asked about the days of resurrection, and then after that he went away, he left them, and all the companions, they were asking questions in their head, but they didn't ask Prophet Muhammad SAW until Prophet Muhammad SAW asked them, do you know who came just now? And then they asked, only Allah and his messengers know. And then Prophet Muhammad SAW said, that was Malaikat Jibril teaching you your religion. So scholars say that this is the foundation. That's the reason why in Islam, okay, in our religion, we have what is called Fardu Ain. Fardu Ain is an obligatory knowledge for each and every Muslim to learn, and they have to learn it individually. Okay, we have fardu kifayah and fardu ain. Fardu ain is important. So where did this fardu ain came from? Where what's the basis of the fardu ain? It's actually from this hadith. We call it as hadith Jibril. And then that's the reason why, okay, that's the reason why when you see here, I put declaration, acknowledgement, because we have to understand, once we acknowledge, we declare ourselves as being a believer of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to understand, okay, we have to have full faith that we are the servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number one. Okay, that means whatever rules that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, we are a child to our parents, we are siblings to our other siblings, we are spouse to our spouse, we are husband to a wife, we are a wife to a husband, we are parent to our children, a friend to other friends, a professional in our career, a student, a citizen, a pet owner, I just put it there. All right, so whoever we are, whatever roles, okay, how many hats we are using at the moment, we are always servant of Allah, number one. Once we declare ourselves as Muslim, once we declare, we acknowledge that we are a believer. So whatever roles that we have, we are servant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if we were to become a child, we want to be the best child for our parents, how can we do so? You have to learn how. You have to learn what did Allah say about a child being good to the parents. What did Allah is there any guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the role of a child towards the parents? And believe me, there are guidance. And of course, how do you become good siblings? How do you become a good spouse, parent, friend, professional, student? Every role, okay, every role has the knowledge for us to learn. And of course, it takes a while, and whatever it is, we have to keep on learning. So for tonight's session is about us being parents, or being parents to our children, being parents to our children. But again, to be a good parent to our children, we have to know that we are a servant of Allah. And if we are the servant of Allah, we have to learn how to become the best servant for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, now, so I'm not going to elaborate on this because I want to focus more on to being parents for your children during Ramadan, and how do you encourage your children to fast, etc. Okay, so basically tonight's session is about being parents. There's children, and there's fasting during Ramadan. Okay, so this is just an introduction, and usually my introduction is quite long. Okay, when we talk about, so what do we need to know as parents to our children? What are the crucial thing that we need to know? Number one, we have to have a sense of responsibility, okay, that will make you, that will show that you are a good parent. So sense of responsibility is very important. You know that you're a parent, you know that where you have a part to play in, and then guidance is important as well. And also knowledge. Knowledge I put here, knowledge is one of the most important efforts to be put, okay, to be put on by all parents. Okay, that means you have to keep on learning and learning and learning. And of course, as parents, you have to be wise as well. Because I keep on telling this in my writings or in my teaching. I keep on telling people that as parents, we are the adults here. So we have to become the adults and be a good example and act like an adult. Okay, be a good example to the children. We are the adults here, so we should be wiser. Okay, we should be more knowledgeable. We should be the person who can actually guide our children. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, now we're talking about our role as parents to our children during Ramadan. Okay, so now let's go through what's the fadilah or the significance or the benefits of Ramadan. So if you see here, Ramadan, I write it, well, it's quite long, so I think I will just read it out for you and then maybe elaborate further. Okay, why is Ramadan so special? This is a month like no other. So we have 12 months. We have from Muharram until Zulhijjah. Okay, from Muharram until Zulhijjah. So we have 12 months of Islamic months in the calendar. And Ramadan is one of the months, and it's the most special month. It's not like we are discriminating other months or saying that the other months is not special, but there are always months that are, yeah, if there's always occasion, correct? Like even in our Gregorian month, there's always an occasion. So this is a special occasion for us. So that one thing about special occasion is for us to look forward to something, because by human nature we like to look forward to something, okay, so that we can prepare. For now, for example, we are living on earth. We are actually looking forward to something as well, that is returning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it's going to be very boring, very mundane if we do not have any goal or purpose. That's the reason why human beings, by nature, we need purpose. And that is actually pushing us. Purpose pushes us. Purpose motivates us. Without purpose, it's very difficult for us to move forward. Okay, at least we will not move forward, happily. Maybe we move forward, but in reluctance. So that's the reason why when we talk about Ramadan, it's actually something that we look forward to, because it's an occasion. 1 month in the whole of 12 months, this is a special month that we are looking forward to. It is said that the companions of the Prophet Muhammad SAW would spend 6 months in preparation for these blessed times. So during the time of Prophet Muhammad SAW, they look forward to something, and they look forward to Ramadan. So they would spend 6 months spending. What do you mean by spending 6 months? So that means they already practice, they already warm up. Okay, so for example, if in exercise before you do the exercise itself, you have to do the warm up, right? So that you stretch. For example, you stretch your muscles so that you won't have any muscle cramps, because you know that you're going to exert your muscles in your heavy exercises. So you start off with the warm up, stretching, so that your muscles will be more stretchable. I don't know if that's the correct word, okay? So you won't have cramps. So the same goes with that is our body. The same goes with our soul. Okay, if you're thinking, but Saza, we only have few days only to Ramadan. We do not have 6 months. Now you're telling us this. You should tell us 6 months ago. Okay, now we have the knowledge. Okay, we have the knowledge. Okay, we can hopefully, may Allah uh, what do you call that, lengthen our days, lengthen our lives, okay, so that we can not only we will see this year's Ramadan, so that we may see the next Ramadan as well, because it's a very beautiful month, and there's so many significance in it that we can actually Prophet Muhammad SAW mentioned that if we do our fast, and if we are doing our acts of worship properly, and with faith, with humility, the person will come out from Ramadan just like a newborn. Okay, so that we do not have any sin at all. Although that we have so many past sins during the past, but because we observe our Ramadan, not only for our body, but we observe for our soul as well, we will come out, we will end Ramadan as though that we are a newborn. We are given a clean slate. Okay, we are given a clean slate, and then we can continue being a better person, being a better servant for Allah SWT, being a better parent for our children. So ladies and gentlemen, if you see here, Muslims should see this as a month of reaping benefits, rewards, and opportunities. So this is a month of so many benefits, okay, so many opportunities. Okay, the best time to connect to Allah, improving our relationship with Allah, will significantly improve our relationship with others. Because there's a hadith where Prophet Muhammad SAW mentioned this. Ihfazillaha yahfazukallah. Okay, you take care of your relationship with Allah SWT, said Prophet Muhammad SAW, Allah will take care of your affairs. So that means if you take care of your relationship with Allah SWT, Allah will take care of your other relationships with other people. So that's how it works. So that's the reason why our teachers, they kept on reminding us, and now I'm sharing with you. So if we have issues, we have problems with other people, with our spouses, with our children, with our family members, the first thing that you need to do is you have to make tawbah and make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to better your relationship. correct your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As mentioned by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you take care of Allah first, your relationship with Allah, and Allah will take care of the rest, other affairs. So you do not, if for example, you have issues with your family members, the first thing you need to do is you beg to Allah, Ya Allah, their hearts is in your hands. My heart is in your hand too. So please make their hearts gentle. Please make their hearts, please make them be more peaceful, so that we can have a more harmonious relationship. So you ask Allah, so you take care your role, or you take care your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to have faith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of your relationship with other people. And this is not me saying that, but Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that you have to take care of Allah, Allah will take care of your affairs. Now, time is blessed with multiple of rewards. Okay, that's the reason why the month of Ramadan is something that we look forward to, because, and even scholars, it's a joyous month. Okay, it's a joyous month. Those who have taqwa, those who are God conscious, spiritually aware, Ramadan is a joyous month. It's not the Hari Raya. Okay, it's not the, although that it is a joyous month as well. Okay, Shawwal is a joyous month, but when you see other countries, because our Asian countries or Southeast Asian, the way that we celebrate Ramadan and Hari Raya is different from the people in other countries. So for example, in the Arab world, okay, if you go there, so they really celebrate Ramadan. They celebrate Ramadan more than they celebrate the Hari Raya. So the Hari Raya, they just celebrated it with the Salat Raya, and then that's about it. So when they prepare for their Ramadan, what they did, okay, this is actually from our observation, from our teachers. So what they did, that before you enter Ramadan, what you have to do is that you have to seek forgiveness from everyone, so that you do not have this obstruction when you are trying to better your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's not during Hari Raya, that you seek forgiveness from people. Although that is a very good culture, okay, that means Susan, we can't do that again. Yeah, can continue doing that. Okay, that is a very good culture, that you seek forgiveness when you visit other people's houses. If you're doing that during Ramadan, during Shawwal, okay, during Hari Raya, keep on doing that. But now you have the knowledge. Okay, now I'm telling you, when seeking forgiveness, it's not actually during Hari Raya, but it's actually before Ramadan, so that you enter Ramadan in a very with a peaceful soul, with a peaceful heart. You seek forgiveness. But Ustazah, I tried to seek forgiveness, but the person didn't want to forgive me. That is not your concern, actually. So our role is to seek forgiveness. The people want to forgive or not, that is between them and Allah SWT. So that means, did I receive the forgiveness, Ustazah? As long as we put in the effort, we show Allah that, look Allah, I've already did it, but now he didn't want to. That is between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he has the knowledge, and if he is knowledgeable, he will want to forgive. Okay, now, so we seek forgiveness from people, regardless they want to forgive us, they want to give us the forgiveness or not, just do it. Okay, and you have to do it genuinely, sincerely. Not you don't call the people and say that, I don't want my ibadah be obstructed by this hatred or these negative feelings. Okay, so I want to seek your forgiveness. You want or no, don't want, never mind. So that kind of words, okay, that shows how insincere you are when you seek forgiveness. Okay, so try your very best to seek forgiveness from everyone. And then after that, okay, you look here, the mubah, you can read through this. The mubah is rewarded. Amazing. What is mubah? Mubah is something that you do. Initially, there's no reward at all. So what is it that you do? There's no reward at all. Sleeping. So if you sleep, okay, it's just what the body needs. It's just human nature, because humans need to sleep. It's a mubah thing to do. That means there's no reward to it, there's no sin to it. But during Ramadan, even your sleep, without you intend it to be so that you can be strong for ibadah, without intention even, okay, Allah SWT will reward your sleep as sunnah. So you sleep for 8 hours, for 6 hours, okay, that sleep, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will keep on rewarding you. Amazing. And then the sunnah, as far, okay, anything that we do, the sunnah, the reward is multiple. So it is
Teach what?
to summarize this whole thing, okay, to summarize this whole thing, it's a we do not want to miss the opportunity of getting multiples of reward. So this is the time, 1 month. If we have not used, okay, we are not used to doing many good deeds, we are not used of giving charity every day, we're not used to helping other people, we are always we are not used to do things that we like helping around the house. I think during Ramadan is an opportunity for you to actually get multiple of rewards. So this is the summary of this slide. All right, so you can actually read through. I think you can print screen these notes. Okay, and then knowing, does knowing, it's not does knowing. Oh, I think it's does knowing. Knowing the significance of Ramadan motivates us. Yeah. So yes, the answer is yes. Knowing the significance of Ramadan motivates us to do more good deeds and acts of worship. So, Ustazah, is it okay that we are doing all this just because we want the rewards? So it's fine. It's fine because we love incentives. What more if the incentives is not rewards? Is not only here on earth but also in the hereafter. Okay, now before we get to how can I encourage our children, how can I encourage myself to do good deeds, and then after that encourage my children as well, the whole family. Okay, first thing that you need to realize, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand the essence of Ramadan. The Ramadan itself is not about being hungry, it's not about being thirsty or in solidarity, also I always get confused of the two words.
Solidarity.
Solidarity or solidarity?
Solidarity.
Solidary, first, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Suzaha. I always get confused of these two. Solidarity. Okay, so the solidarity with the masakin or the fuqara, okay, of the people who has lesser than us. It's not only that. So the first thing that we need to realize, okay, I only put two things, okay, because it's a short session, so I won't elaborate further. The first one, I put it internalizing it. The second one is exemplifying it. Okay. Now, the essence of Ramadan is not about hunger, thirst, solidarity with the masakin and fuqara. Okay, although that's part of it also. Okay. The thing about the internalizing the essence of Ramadan, the essence of the Saum, the fasting itself, okay, the purpose is in the ayah Quran. Okay, have you heard of the ayah Quran? The Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, ya ayyuhalladzina amanu kutiba alaikumus siyam kama kutiba alal ladzina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that fasting has been incumbent not only to our ummah, not only to the ummah of Prophet Muhammad SAW, but also to the past ummah. That means other prophets, they fasted as well. The ummah of other prophets before Prophet Muhammad SAW, they also fasted. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not only stop there. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that, look, not only the ummah of Prophet Muhammad SAW did fasting, but the people before that. Because fasting is very significant until it's been done not only by us but by our forefathers, okay, since the time of the other prophets as well. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, it's obligatory for them as well. And then there's an expectation there. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned kama kutiba alal ladzina min qablikum. And Allah SWT said this, la'allakum tattaqun. La'allakum, it's in Malay it's called semoga, mudah-mudahan. Okay, so that. Okay, in English it's so that. In a hope. Okay, there is la'allakum, in a hope. In a hope of what? There's an expectation there. When you are fasting during the Ramadan, when you're fasting, there's a hope, there's an expectation. What is it? And Allah SWT mentioned la'allakum tattaqun. So that, okay, in a hope that you can be God conscious. So um, when we talk about fasting, okay, the first purpose, because we how did we know about our first purpose is to attain God consciousness, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, la'allakum tattaqun, and hope that you can be God conscious. And what is God conscious? So if you see here, okay, I love to I think some of you, if you have gone through my past classes, okay, I've already mentioned about God consciousness, okay, but I'm gonna okay, I just want to give you a brief examples on a taqwa. Okay, there's so many explanation when it comes to taqwa. Even there are other verses that explain or elaborated on the taqwa itself, God consciousness. So if some of you might ask, is it God consciousness or God fearing? Okay, some scholars they translate it as God consciousness, some translate it as God fearing. So whatever it is, okay, that is the translation. That is just translation. Let me give you the idea of what the istilah, okay, or the explanation of taqwa. So there's this one, there's Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, a Sahaba, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. There are so many narrations on our predecessors explaining to us what is exactly taqwa. There's one from Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu. There's one from Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. There's one from Ubay bin Ka'ab radiallahu anhu. There's one from other scholars as well that came after them. Now, so taqwa here, I would like to focus on just one, okay, by Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he asked one of the Sahaba, one of the companions, he asked the companion, what is your understanding of taqwa? What is your understanding of God conscious? Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, the companion's name is Ubay bin Ka'ab. And Ubay bin Ka'ab radiallahu anhu, he answered, this is his own personal opinion. Of course, if we look at other not translation, explanation from other Sahaba, theirs are different also, but it's fine, or whatever that they think. Okay, it's not something that is confirmed, or it's not something that it's a hukum or ruling. No, it's not. Okay, so now when Sayyidina Umar asked about taqwa, what is your idea? What is your explanation on the taqwa itself? Because taqwa is quite a heavy word. Taqwa, God consciousness. But how do we attain being God consciousness? How do we gauge ourselves? How do we see ourselves as a person who is God conscious? And this Sahaba, this companion, answered him. He said, if you see in front of you a path, a road, a path, and then on that path, you see there are many thorns, spikes or thorns. Thorns. Betul tak, Eja ni? Thorns. All right. And you see the thorns in front of you. And because there are thorns on that path, on that road, you will definitely be very careful in going through that path, because there are thorns. You want to ensure that you will not be poked by one of the thorns. You will not be injured by the spikes. So you will be careful by looking at the path and putting where your foot is. You will look at it and then you put your foot. You check again the path, and then slowly you put another foot. You put another foot and another until you get to your destination. And then this companion continued, and he said, that feeling of being cautious, of being mindful, that is being God conscious. That is what I understand from taqwa. So ladies and gentlemen, I love this kind of scenario or analogy that has been given by our predecessors, by the companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a beautiful analogy. It makes sense as well, because we know that we won't live in this world forever. We are treading a path. And we are treading many paths actually. It's not only one path towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are so many paths. So if we have our own path, you do not feel that other people, if other people is not on your path, you do not feel that other people is transgressed, okay, or sesat. Okay, because there are so many paths that will lead you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in safety, okay, safely. So now we know, okay, maybe some of you have heard of this, some of you have not. Now you know that what is taqwa. One of the analogies is that, okay, of course there are other explanations from other companions, from other ulama, from other scholars on what God consciousness is, but that kind of analogy, I think it makes sense. So we are treading a path, we are returning, all of us will be returning soon to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have our loved ones, or they have already returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So all of us are actually in this world. It's like a bridge. We do not build on the bridge, but we just pass by the bridge. Okay, we do not build on the bridge, where we just pass by enough to get to our destination. And what is our destination? That is our purpose, to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the best of state. Now, in order to do that, that's the reason why we need taqwa. We need to be very mindful. We need to be very careful and cautious with our step. And we have to bear in mind that whatever steps that we are taking, we have to have Allah with us all the time. We have to take note. Okay, we have to take note that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there, is always observing us. Now, another, how do we internalize the essence of Ramadan? The first one is to attain God consciousness. I've already mentioned, explained to you what is taqwa, and then enhance spiritual awareness, and then observe self-restraint. And last time you feel that you're always angry. Okay, that's the reason why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was never full when eating. This is something that really needs self-restraint, especially for foodies. I'm talking about myself, okay? And it's a real challenge, especially for foodies, especially for those who really love to try out food. I'm talking about myself also. So self-restraint is not only about food, it's about other attitude as well, or other characteristic, other personalities. So for example, you're a person who just like to talk. But during Ramadan, you will lessen your talk definitely. If you still keep on talking like you are not fasting, I have no idea where you get your energy from. Okay, so once you are fasting, you will definitely try to lessen in everything. You will lessen yourself from getting angry. You're too tired. You just feel that I want to save my energy. I'm too weak. Okay, you will lessen from talking. Okay, so there are so many things that you lessen, and it's good for you. It's not only good for your body, because you lessen your food and all, but it's also good for your soul as well. So Prophet Muhammad, he's never full when it comes to eating and drinking, because the Prophet Muhammad said every disease comes from food intake. Okay, so that means you have to be very mindful of whatever that you eat. Definitely has to be halal, and because it'll become your darah daging. Okay, so it'll become part of you. And self-restraint. Okay, so before this, you will. So that's how you observe. I mean, when you fast, you're actually observing yourself in self-restraint. And then to elaborate the process of self-reform and self-reflection, okay, this is a time where you do a lot of self-reforming and self-reflection, and then to train our hearts, minds, and soul. So I believe that all of you are very aware of our internalizing the purpose. So these are some of the purposes. If you ask me, so I believe that there are more purposes. Yeah, definitely there are more, but I only present you with this first, all right? Okay, so now the next one is after you internalize, okay, you know, you try to enhance your spiritual awareness, you try to be a better person, a better servant for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a better spouse to your partner, a better mom, a better dad for your children. Okay, next thing, after you internalize, after you try your very best to learn, you have to exemplify. That means you have to role model it. We call it role model. Okay, so you have to make, now we're talking about showing your whatever that you have internalized, and then you spread it okay, or it's like spreading vibes, okay, you spread it, you exemplify, you role model it to your children, and then you can actually make every moment a teachable moment for the people around you, okay, including your children. So for example, this is a time where you show your children that you lessen your anger. This is time where you show your children that you are more gracious, you are more calm. Okay, so every moment can be a teachable moment. So now when we talk about Ramadan, parents and kids, it's not just about asking your kids not to eat and not to drink. Okay, we have to teach them more than that. It's not about just getting yourself hungry or thirsty, although that is what we want to practice them. Okay, that is the act of worship, but the essence of it, we have to inform the children as well. And how do you inform them? We do not just tell them, because one thing about children, they will learn, okay, they will learn easier if a person role model to them, especially when the parents role model to them. Okay, so if you want them to fast and then you keep on shouting at them, you keep on using vulgarities, you keep on making them stress out, you're not really living the essence of the Ramadan. You're not really role modeling the essence of Ramadan. You're just making it more difficult for them, and you make them feel more resentful towards the acts of worship, because acts of worship, there's always essence to it. It's not only about getting hungry or getting thirsty. So it's about time for you to understand the essence. So if you look here, this is the essence. Learn, how do you attain God consciousness? You have to learn. If you ask me, this is where the process starts. This is where seeking knowledge starts. You have to read a lot, you have to listen a lot, and you have to, reading is good also, and then you try, after reading, after learning, you try to put it into practice. Okay, you internalize it first, and then after that you role model it to your children. Make every moment a teachable moment for the people around you. Okay, because if you just ask your kids to fast, to not to eat or drink, but they are still seeing you uh, uh, still seeing you shouting at them, uh, being not modeling the essence, the real essence, the self restraint. You're not really self restraining yourself. Okay, that will give a wrong impression for them. They will see that fasting is just about get hungry and thirsty. That's about it, but it's not that. And even Prophet Muhammad SAW mentioned in one of his narrations, there are people who fast and get nothing from their fast except hunger. And there are those who pray and get nothing from their prayer but a sleepless night. These are the people who do not understand the real purpose of fasting, the real purpose of Ramadan, the self-restraining. They do not understand that everything about fasting in the month of Ramadan is about la'allakum tattaqun, so that you may be more God conscious. And for you to be God conscious is for you, okay, is for you to learn whatever has been taught by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Prophet Muhammad SAW has taught us towards the kids. Prophet Muhammad SAW was always gentle towards kids. So if you really want to be in the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad SAW, that's what you do. Prophet Muhammad SAW, he was understanding, he was gracious, okay, he was wise, and that's where we follow in the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, and then after that we try to role model it for our children, and our children will learn more apart from just be hungry and thirsty. Now, ladies and gentlemen, so Prophet Muhammad SAW said there are people who fast and get nothing from their fast except hunger, because they are just they restrain themselves from eating and drinking, but they are still doing things that is not according to the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are still doing maksiat. They are still doing, they don't have adab, they don't have good akhlaq or good characteristic. And there are those who pray and get nothing from the prayer but a sleepless night. Okay, they pray a lot, but at the same time, they don't know how to take care of their tongues. Okay, they don't know how to take care of their eyes. They don't know how to take care of their akhlaq, of their actions, of their words. So these are important things or important knowledge that we need to know. Okay, firstly, you have to internalize, and I believe that there are so many topics, okay, brought forward by the asatiza and the ustaza on how to internalize the essence of Ramadan. And then after that, you role model it to your children. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your parents or parents to be, you have to bear in mind that as much as you want your children to learn how to fast, how to be hungry so that they can understand the less fortunate, okay, but you have to understand that internalizing it, it starts from you first, and then you role model it to your children. So it's not just about restraining or refraining yourself from eating and drinking, but it's more than that. And your children, they are always watching you. That's how they learn. Children, they learn from role modeling, they learn from watching. We do not have to say much, we do not have to shout, we do not have to keep on preaching to them, but they learn best if the adults around them role model the attitude or the character to them. That's how Prophet Muhammad SAW was during his time. That's how he actually spread out his knowledge or his akhlaq by role modeling it to the people around him. So when he preached about sabar, okay, about patience, he showed them how patience is like. He preached to them about being gracious, being charitable. He showed to them. He just didn't say it out, but he showed to them. That's how parents need to be for their children, being a good role model to them. Now, getting into the spirit of Ramadan with kids. Okay, so these are the things that I've put it into notes, points in point form, so that you can together we can learn from here. Okay, this is just something that I've gotten from my reading and my learning, and you can, yeah. If you want to jot down, you can jot down. If you don't want, it's fine as well. Okay, I'm just sharing here. I don't mind people want to take it or not. I'm fine with it now. The first thing, okay, the first thing is what I put here is make supplementary prayers to seek forgiveness and guidance. Okay, supplementary prayers. Number one is Salat Taubat, because usually humans, they like to see the mistakes. The other people's mistakes are more evident to them than their own mistakes. People usually, they like to blame other people than themselves. So the first thing that you have to understand, if you look at your children and maybe they are the way that they behave is not what you are expecting, or it's not favorable, what you need to do, you do not reprimand the child or the children. You do not immediately blame them. You do not say that, this child, I don't know where he got it from. Okay, if you have that idea, it's definitely coming from you. Okay, so as though that, because children is easier when between children and adults, it's easier actually to not blame children, because children is definitely innocent. For adults, okay lah. Okay, but whatever it is, you have to focus on yourself first. Okay, so you have to do your salat tawbah, you have to do your salat istikhara, you have to do your salat hajat. Okay, these are the salat that are encouraged by Prophet Muhammad SAW for us to do, so that we have a clear conscience, and then we have we self-reflect onto ourselves first before we start blaming other people, especially our children. It's not their fault. So maybe the way that we guide them is not correct yet. So we are learning. We keep on learning and learning and learning. So I've put a what do you call that, the link, okay, because I've already compiled on the Salat Sunnah, because I've taught this years back, and I put it in one of my Google Drives, and I just share it with anyone who wishes to know about the Salat Sunnah, okay, the supplementary Salat. I'm not too sure whether this is in Malay or English. You can check it out lah, okay. I'm not too sure whether it's in Malay or English. And
Malay, I have already put the link on the chat box. So those of you who want to click on it, you are welcome to do so. So that's just a time check. It's already past 9 o'clock. So
okay.
yeah, we might want to speed it up in case there are any other question.
Oh, we're taking in questions. Okay, okay, sure. Can.
So, participants, if you have any questions, you can just put up in the chat box. So maybe as Usada is talking, she can also look through the questions as well and see whether she whatever that she's talking it also answers your questions, lah, inshallah.
I think I need help in this, Ustaz Khatim. I think I need you to verbalize the question because yeah, I can answer better if I hear. I'm auditory. I don't.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Thank
yeah,
you.
so everyone else, please feel free to go to the chat box to ask any questions if you have. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ustaz Hatim. So what I put here is that humans are not designed to solve all problems. We're not designed in this world to solve the world's problem or even our own problems. At times, we just need to exhaust all efforts to find the solutions. At the end of the day, we have to put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in whatever that He has planned for us. But again, putting in effort is important. And then after that, we do not feel that we can resolve everything. No, not everything can be resolved by us. At times, we just need to leave our affairs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a very nice dua that you can actually read. A dua taught by our beloved Prophet Muhammad SAW to his child, Sayyidah Fatimah radiallahu anha. Okay, so Rasulullah taught this dua. It's a very, very beautiful dua. I love it. And I hope and I wish to share with all of you. And the translation is there also. Oh, the everlasting, oh, the sustainer and protector of all that exists. I seek aid through your mercy. So we seek aid from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Correct me, for me, all my matters, and do not entrust me to my own self, even for the blink of an eye ever. So that means we have to entrust our affairs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And do not entrust our affairs to our nafs, So this dua will help us to guide us so that we are putting and trust our affairs to Allah and not to our nafs. So that whatever decisions that we make is based on Allah's wisdom and it's not based on our nafs. Now, and then this is the most important, renew your intention and then have good thoughts. This is what we call husnuzon. Okay, so the first thing, why did I put this checklist first, is for yourself. Before we get to our children, you have to deal with yourself first. Deal with yourself. So make the dua back to Allah SWT first. Ya Allah, please help me. Please help me. I'm trying to be the best mother, the best father for my children, but I cannot do it alone. I do not have the wisdom. I do not know what's going on after this. I cannot see the future. So back Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after that, you also, parents, you have to renew your intentions. I'm not talking about children. I'm not talking about dealing with your children. I'm talking about you dealing with yourself first. Because we have to, as parents, we have to deal with yourself, ourselves first, our soul first, our heart first, and then we can actually create that positive vibes for our children. We can actually exemplify, can actually role model everything to our children, and we can make every moment as a teachable moment for our children. You have to renew attention, parents. Okay, before we get to the children, do it for ourselves first. We have to have husnuzon. You have to have good thoughts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's kindness. Allah is the most kind. Allah is the most kind. Allah will surely help me. And then you have to continue to read and learn. Okay. And then now the next one, it's for your children. Okay, as a parent to your kids. This one is, okay, like I wrote here, if you see here, as a servant, that means you have to deal with yourself first before dealing with your children. Now, after dealing with yourself, now dealing with your children. How can you encourage your children during Ramadan? Okay, what you can do. These are just some suggestions, and I got it from reading as well. It's not like something that I came up on my own. No, okay, because many people have came up with a lot of suggestions. So I just put it into a list. So maybe I just hope that it can be helpful for all. It's beneficial. It's helpful for everyone else. Okay. So if you see here, what you can do is that you can prepare the house for Ramadan, show them that it is special. Okay, so this one you have to base on your creativity. Prepare the house for Ramadan. How can I do so? How can you do? You just so usually we will prepare our house for Hari Raya, right? For it. Actually, by right, you have to prepare your house for Ramadan. Okay, even before Eid, even before Hari Raya, you prepare the house, you make it nice, you make it presentable, and then you put if for your kids, maybe you have the Ramadan kit on the wall, Ramadan kit, so for them to get excited, to show them, you have to show them the excitement so that they will be excited too. Okay, so show them the excitement, how you are so excited. Some parents I know that they put a tent, they make a solat, a musalla for the kids. So cute, very cute. You can actually Google, okay, ideas on how to prepare your house for kids during Ramadan. And some they took out their lampu club clip, the lampu club kit, and they put up. It's not for Hari Raya, but it's for Ramadan. And actually, my parents started like that first. So I last night I couldn't understand why did my mom she didn't say, and that was like during the 90s that people were very busy on about Hari Raya but not Ramadan. But my mom already started to be to ensure that Ramadan is a joyous occasion, not only Hari Raya. So our lampu club clip is not last time was not during Hari Raya, it was during Ramadan. My first of Ramadan, before Ramadan, my mom would show her happiness and then put all the lampu club clip. It's not Hari Raya. So I felt weird. Okay, I felt because no one did that at that time. I do not know anyone doing that except during Hari Raya, but my mom was doing it for Ramadan. So now, as I grew older, I understand why she did that, because she said that she's celebrating. We do not celebrate Hari Raya only. Of course, we celebrate Hari Raya, but actually the real celebration starts from Ramadan. And then we preempt the kids on Ramadan with stories and information. If you ask me, what are the stories, Taza? This one you have to Google it on your own, or you have to find it on your own. Okay, I can just give you some days, and the rest you have to put in the effort to actually get creative, to actually Google and find the information. And then make a schedule. Schedule is important, a routine. Okay, so for example, you want to have a routine of reading the Quran, because the month of Ramadan is, we call it the month of Al-Quran as well. Okay, so you do lots of recitation for the Quran. So you can get, or you can make a schedule where the acts of worship or acts of good deeds last time during other months, okay, is okay, it's just okay. But during Ramadan, you make it a point that we do as much as possible, as many good deeds, as many Quran recitations as possible every day, without fail. We're going to read at least a page. So you have to have that intention, and you have to set set a realistic goal, and do not get frustrated easily. Some people, they set a goal and then they expect too much, and then they get frustrated also. Whatever it is, you set a realistic goal, but if you cannot manage, if you don't manage to get to that goal, do not get frustrated, okay? Because whatever it is, everything will be rewarded. Lead the kids by example. Continue learning with the kids. Okay, there are so many teachable moments. It's not just like you have them in front of you and then you preach to them, or you tell them, you talk to them. That's not the only teachable moments. There's so many teachable moments that you can do with your kids, even while you're lying down with them. There's even while you're eating with them, even while you're watching TV, for example, with them, and cuddling them. So there are so many teachable moments. And praise and reward kids like that. Some parents might say that, oh, I want them to do for Allah. But for kids, they are not like us adults. Okay, we can actually the way that we comprehend the word God or Allah is different from kids. Kids, they are kids. So the way that they think, you cannot expect them to think like us. So whatever it is, okay, their incentives will be, if I tell you that your incentive or your reward will be Jannah, paradise, you'll be happy. But for kids, okay, they will understand, but the way that they answer is unlike us. So we have to show them the reward as the reward and praise them. That will actually motivate them. Praising from the parents to the children, that really means a lot to children, because children, they see their parents as everything. It's like, yeah, like their queen, their king, their princess, okay. And then after that, you take one step at a time. Of course, you do not push yourself. Everything needs to be gradual, okay, especially doing good deeds. And you do not exhaust yourself, because you set unrealistic goals and you exhaust yourself, you get frustrated, and you find that so difficult to do good things. No, actually, to do good deeds, it just it does not need to uh, it starts with a simple step. It starts for a simple step. So take that one small step. Okay, do not take a giant leap. Okay, just take one small step, and then slowly, gradually, you're becoming a more bigger leap. And then do not compare and do not be too hard on yourself. This is very important, especially for parents. And they when you start comparing, especially the era of social media, you see other people. I saw these people posting about the children reading the Quran, but I cannot at home. My spouse always work late. So do not compare. You work with what you have. Okay, I keep on telling people, work with what you have. You do not look at what other people have, because your life is your life, their life is their life. So whatever condition that you are at, work with what you have, work with what your condition is at this moment of time. Okay, so you just, when you look at other people's social media, just take it as to inspire you. But if somehow you feel that the need to compare, no, better not. Better maybe you might want to cleanse your heart or strengthen your heart. Okay, because at times it's not the person who posts, it's you, it's your heart. Okay, so you have to exercise. This one needs exercise of the heart, and try not to compare, or you just be happy for other people, and after that in a hope that when you are happy for other people, Allah will make you happy as well. And then surround yourself with positive people for support. So I just put here, you are doing great. Okay, have faith in your effort. Okay, Allah SWT will not see whether you will arrive to the result or not. Allah is not looking at the result. Okay, Allah is not looking whether you have to be a solihah mom, but Allah is looking at your effort in being a solihah mom, in being a good mother. Okay, whether you are already or in progress. Okay, that is not the deal here. Okay, Allah SWT is looking at the effort. So everything is an effort. That's what the scholars mention. Al-ajru al hasbi ta'am. Okay, so the reward is based on the effort you put in. Okay, so do not worry. I'm trying my very best to be the best mother, but I'm not the best yet. Of course, it's very difficult to be the best, but we can always be better. We can always be better. Try to be better every day. Because we also cannot gauge how is it to be the best mother. How can we gauge? Must we compare with other people in order for us to see whether we are the best? No, you compare with your own self. You compare with your yesterday. You compare your today with your own yesterday, not with other people. Okay, so you have to surround yourself with positive people, whatever it is. You work within your means, okay, and then be creative, inshallah, and beg Allah for assistance. Allah will definitely be there for you to assist you. So have faith in your effort, because putting in effort, that is what Allah is looking at. Okay, and you have to have faith. You have to have good thoughts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most kind and most gracious, and don't worry whether Allah will Allah accept or not. Allah is the most kind, most gracious. He will accept even the tiniest bit of effort. Even you didn't see that effort, but Allah saw. Allah will see even the tiniest bit of effort. MashaAllah, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahu alam bisawab. I think that's about it.
Thank you, Sada.
Yeah.
Actually, we have already one question here in the chat box.
Okay.
You want me to read it out for you? Okay. This is from Sis Linda, and she is asking, Assalamualaikum, Ustazah. How do kids explain to their non-Muslim friends if they ask about Ramadan? And this is for the range of 5 to 8 years old.
Explain. Just I'm not too sure in which angle is the explanation. Like,
I'm guessing it's like if
Yeah.
the non-Muslim friends are asking, why are you fasting? So
Okay.
something like that. Like, should they say, oh, it's because my mother asked me to?
It's fine, whatever that they want to explain. There's no perfect question, definitely. There's no perfect question. There's no like, oh, this is okay. So what you can do, okay, if your child answer the friends, why are you fasting? My mom asked me to. Never mind. I mean, children, if they answer that kind, children are very honest. Especially when you mention it's 8 years old, right? It is 8, 9 years old. They are so honest. At times you have to like warn them. And you make sure whatever that I always warn my son, okay, whatever happens in this house, stays in this house, okay, Muhammad, you don't go tell around. Because I know the friends, parents and all that, because they are very honest. So let them answer, okay, as long as it's appropriate, it's fine. Okay, if they say that, oh, because my mom asked me to do lah, it's fine, but maybe you might want to talk to them. If you don't want that to be the answer, that's where the guidance is from the parents. So you tell and kids, they will follow, they will just follow whatever that your mom said. My mom, mak saya kata, I think that one during my time, mak saya kata everything that our parents tell us, we believe. So that is the best time, like 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, you talk to them. You know what, you fast is because it's as Muslims, Allah asks us to fast, so we fast because we worship Allah, we believe in Allah. So you might want to elaborate your children based on your knowledge that you have. Okay, so but if somehow your child said, oh, because my mom asked me, because my mom forced me, never mind. At that age, they still cannot comprehend, they still don't understand. Okay, so as parents, you have, jangan cepat, I call it jangan cepat kecil hati. Okay, as parents, you have to just laugh it off, and maybe you can laugh it off, hug them and talk to them nicely, like in a hope that they will change their answers. Okay, so yeah, it's fine, anything as long as it's appropriate.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I hope, Sis Linda, that is okay for you. Okay. I think with regards to, I mean, Alhamdulillah. I mean, I think this talk is quite significant for me, like, because we were like come here thinking that, what should we tell our children to fast, but here you are telling us that, you have to prepare yourself first to be
Yeah,
the role model.
that's personally I feel that way because that's what our teachers had taught us. But if you have other ways or you have other approaches, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Exactly. This is like open, very open. It's very general. One thing about preparing your children for the month of Ramadan is very open. There's no specific ruling. That's the best thing about it. So this is not fiqh. This is what we're learning is akhlaq or the tasawwuf. It's not fiqh. So anything that is akhlaq tasawwuf is very open. It's very general. So if you have other approaches, I'm telling you, your approaches are good too. Okay.
I think it's great because it helps us to reflect, like, what do I actually want my children to internalize, so I have to internalize first. So I think that's a great step to, getting more in the spirit of Ramadan, rather than, hey, you have to do this, you have to do this, but what are you telling yourself, in order
Yeah,
for the whole family to
true.
be doing this thing. So thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, you put it very beautifully, Ustazah Khatim. Yes, that's the summary of it. Like you put it very beautifully. Yeah.
Okay, we do have one question here. Is it too much, by Sister Noor? Is it too much if we get a 7-year-old to fast the entire month? I think you were talking about realistic expectations.
Mhm.
So yeah, is it realistic to be asking a child at 7 years old to, what you call it, fast for an entire month? Or what
Mhm.
is a good age for a child to start fasting the entire month, or to start fasting even?
Okay, I love this question because it's a very popular question. Okay, I mean, I've received a lot of questions with regards to this, and when my child is growing up, I have the same thoughts as well. I have the same question as well. So and I've learned from our teachers, and of course they gave so many different answers, and but most of them said that we can actually train our children at the age of mumayyiz. This one you can put down, okay? We can put down because most scholars they even said that because there is a dalil even, okay, when Prophet Muhammad SAW mentioned about encouraging your child to pray at the age of 7, but that is praying. But the scholars mentioned that it's not only praying but other acts of worship as well. So the age of 7 is nice. Okay, anything that is below 7, I think they are not ready yet. And of course they will complain and all. So 7, but again it needs to be gradual. Okay, what our teachers taught us that you can do not ask them to, if they have just started, maybe you might start them when they are 6 years old, K2. Okay, when they are K2 you started, but you do not start with full day. Okay, one thing I know, the anatomy, okay, the biology of the children and us are totally different. adults, we can handle fasting, but not children. That's the reason our religion is very wise, Our religion is very good. Because why? Our religion even mentioned that any children, anyone that is not baligh yet, because baligh is the age of when your body changes, to show that you will get stronger too, and you can handle fasting. And that's the reason why our religion said it's like the wajib, the shurutul wujub. That means the people who are wajib, who are obligated to fast, is only baligh and above. But of course, scholars mention that you can train them when they are mumayyiz, start from mumayyiz based on the hadith from Prophet Muhammad SAW. But they never suggest a full day. So especially when you just start at K2 or at primary one, okay, so you can start with half a day, or you can start with, you have to look at your child. Once your child started to complain that they cannot tahan, okay, do not force them. Immediately ask them to break their fast. Okay, there are so many news or stories, but not in Singapore, alhamdulillah. I've read stories from our neighboring country. The child is only 10 years old, and they are always running about. So the child went to school, and of course they played catching, and then he went home. He complained to the mother, I cannot tahan. I want to drink. And mother said, no, sekejap je lagi, sekejap, just a bit more, wait for Maghrib, just a bit more. And then, but the son looks desperate. I need to drink. And the mom said, just a bit more, and asked him to slip it off. And he's only 10 years old. He's only 10 years old. And then the child, the child slapped it off. And when the time comes during Maghrib, the mom woke him up, and he didn't wake up because he was dehydrated, and he's gone. He passed away. And this is a true story. We get a lot of stories like this, but alhamdulillah, not in Singapore, in our neighboring countries, in other countries, whereby the parents, you have to see the signs. Look at your children. You see the signs of desperation, and do not force them. The sign of desperation shows that they really need it. Okay, then do not say that they are drama only, Ustazah, until when? No. If you start with yourself, if you intend, you ask Allah, Ya Allah, please give strength. Give strength to my boy, give strength to my girl to fast. And then after that, you have to see signs. Okay, anything before baligh, they are not obligated, but you can train them. And please, you have to be aware of the signs given by your children. And please be nice, be kind. And that kindness, that understanding, that will be the barakah. And that will be the barakah. Then the patience, that will be the barakah, the blessings for you. And because you being patient, you being understanding, you being gentle to your children, Allah will make easy for your children because of your akhlaq towards your children. That's why your akhlaq towards your children is more important than your children's akhlaq towards you, actually, because you're role modeling to them, and then they will learn from you. Wallahu alam. I hope that answers. You can start at 7 years old is good, entire month. Look at your children. You can start every single day, maybe half a day, and after that you try, okay, tomorrow full day, and then you look at maybe during the weekends when they can just sleep through. Okay, you can ask them, okay, you just sleep, you do not be active, because in school they need to take the stairs, they need to walk a lot, so they get tired. But during weekend, maybe you can try, okay, why not, now it's weekend, you don't need to do any tough activities, heavy activities, let's try to lengthen, okay, your fasting. Now you make it nice to them. You don't direct them. Okay, one thing about directive, and you talk to them nicely. The second one, okay, talk to them nicely. That is how Prophet Muhammad SAW was towards children. Allahu alam.
Inshallah, that's very interesting. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so I'm wondering if there's any other questions left, because we are already approaching 9:27. If there are no questions, I think that I would love to have feedback from all of you. And I think that Ustazah also needs a rest. She has had such a long day yesterday and also today. And I wish, I dua for you to have a good health, Ustazah, inshallah.
Ameen. Inshallah.
Yeah. So yes.
Yeah.
So besides that, please fill up the feedback form. We would love to have your feedback, and for any suggestions on what do you want to hear more from us with regards to these monthly sessions. Actually, for next month, we have another session here on Laylatul Qadr, powering up your night of power with our two Ustaz here, Ustaz Hidayat and Ustaz Taufik. They're actually brothers, but they have never gone in one event for some reason. So that's interesting to catch. So, Ustazah, thank you so much for enlightening us
Thank you
with
for having me.
a lot of things to give to give some thought to. I'm sure all of us have benefited a lot and learned a lot, so that we can also exemplify this to our children, inshallah, with the coming Ramadan. And yeah, maybe train ourselves to fast 6 months in advance lah, for next year. Okay, so besides that, yeah, to have we would also this is a slide on donate to Pedaus, because all these events are actually powered by your donation, powered by your zakat. So please donate to us so that we could continue having these kinds of quality educational and da'wah programs, inshallah. So I think now it's already 9:30. It's time for us to
Yeah,
close the
that's
session.
nice, mashallah.
Yes,
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, just in time. So I would like to invite Ustazah Nadia again to read the Tasbih Kafara and Surah Al-Asr to close the session. May it be of benefit for everyone, inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah, may Allah bring us, bless our Sha'ban, bless our Rajab, and bring us to Ramadan. And may Allah give us the strength, the patience, the wisdom, the knowledge to go through the Ramadan, so that our Ramadan will be a meaningful one, and we can maximize not only for ourselves but also for our loved ones around us. So whatever it is, you keep on learning, keep on asking Allah for help, for assistance, for knowledge, because what I'm giving you is only sharing. What I'm passing to you is whatever that Allah has given ilham to me to pass down to you. But only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, only His divine power can actually put the knowledge, put the wisdom, put the ilham inside your hearts. Like in the verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, wattaqullah wa yu'allimukumullah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, be God conscious. Be God conscious. Just now we learned about what is being God conscious is. Be God conscious, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will teach you. And also we make lots of intention, whatever that we are learning, may Allah teach our children as well, because Allah can make anything happen. Allah can make everything possible. Although that our children are not with us right now, parents are learning, but because of our pure intention, it's not only us learning, but Allah SWT is actually guiding our children's heart by the blessings of the effort put in by their parents. Thank you so much for being with us. I apologize for any words that might offend anyone, and I hope it has been beneficial. Let us make dua for each other. And with this, we're going to close with Tasbih Kafara and Surah Al-Asr. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal asri innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good rest. Thank you, Ustazah Khatim and Ustazah Afifa and the team. I'm not too sure who else is here. Thank you so much for having me. And may Allah bless all your efforts and reward you handsomely. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, everyone. We will also be closing the session soon, so you can actually leave the Zoom meeting. So before that, just to inform you, it is also on Facebook Live for you to catch back, and we will also be uploading this on our YouTube channel, inshallah. Thank you, and Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem, Allahu Akram. Assalamualaikum.
So-